We have Alex Day. He makes fashion happen. Just with these 3 shirts. And Zay Frank. You can sit next to me. It's cool.
I like it like this. You're my children.
Yes, Daddy.
Babies are made. Weird. Quickly.
That's what I've heard. Not an experience though.
Listen.
Yes, Daddy.
This is going well. So I want to talk to you people, the 3 of you, about something in particular, and I want to talk to all of you as well. The thing that we're going to be talking about is brain crack.
They know what's up.
We know.
Does anyone not know what I'm talking about? Make a louder sound. Okay, here's the deal. You probably all struggle with coming up with ideas, I'm sure, at various points in your creative life. That's pretty common. Brain crack is something even more insidious, and that is when you have a really good idea and you don't do it. Because it's kind of nice to keep it in the back of your mind, right? You have this idea and you're like, well, when I get a little bit better, or when I get a little bit more money, or a little bit more time, I'm gonna do this idea and it's gonna be awesome. And you wait, and you wait. And in the back of your mind, that idea becomes even more wonderful. And you start imagining the awards that you're going to get.
The guy from the mic stand he was trying to be inconspicuous and thus became extraordinarily conspicuous. Slithering across the stage.
Well, I know how to get the crowd's attention now. So, you have this idea. And it sits in the back of your mind. And it just grows bigger, and you imagine the awards that you're going to get. And as time goes by, it becomes harder and harder to execute that idea because your expectations are so big, and by the time that you finally do, it kind of sucks when it comes out because you've wasted a lot of time not getting better at the skill sets that you need to do it. So, what I'm going to ask you guys to talk about is how do you approach getting through those moments when you have an idea? How do you get it out to the world? How do you summon courage in the face of failure and things like that? And then also ask you what kinds of ideas right now would you consider to be brain crack? What are you not executing that you think you should?
You're looking straight at me right now, so I guess I'll go first.
I do that. I look at the people that I don't want to talk.
Okay.
General rule.
I guess for me, whenever you want to do like something new, there's always like this feeling like you're not quite ready for it, sort of. At least that's what I feel when you're going into like a new big project. But I feel like you can't like wait until you feel ready, because then like the opportunity can pass. So you just go for it, and a lot of times you realize later that you were actually ready, you just didn't know it at the time.
Yeah, I have a mentor from college who used to always say to me, "Fake it till you make it." Because we all feel like we're pretending, I think, especially in Vidcon. Like, I just pretend to play rock shows to screaming fans. That doesn't actually happen. That doesn't make any sense.
Your own character, whose name is Hank Green.
Yeah. Well, and I think that generally...
This got weird.
That's the goal.
So wait, are we really here? Or are we inside of a dreaming butterfly?
No, I think it's an elaborate Truman Show experience, and I'm just being experimented on.
So you feel like you're faking it. But what does that do? Does that make, is it easier to control the puppet, Hank, or the real one?
Well, I don't feel like I'm pretending to be me. I feel like I'm pretending to be a writer, or I'm pretending to be a creator, or I'm pretending to be a musician. But the thing is that pretending to be something and being something are pretty much the exact same thing as long as that thing exists. Like, you can pretend to be an alien and you're not an alien, but you can, as long as you're pretending to be a musician and you're writing songs and people are listening to them, I feel like I'm pretending, but I'm actually...
Can we get back to you pretending to be an alien?
Do you want me to try to...
I would like you to do it right now.
I can't physiologically change, but I can do it in my head.
Okay. Speak like one.
Go. But you go.
So, you're learning something right now. So just to jump on that point, there are, when you approach something that you've never done before, I mean, you can fake it till you make it, but we just had a brief chat outside. What happens when you're aware that there are some things that you just can't do?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the thing I think that I'm best at is knowing what I can't do. Because I'm constantly coming up with ideas like, okay, since I've been at Vidcon, I've come up with 3 ideas for television shows. I can't make television shows, but they're in there now, and I don't know what to do about it. And I know if I did them myself, sure, it would be out there, but they wouldn't be very good. And so, I guess...
Can you pitch one right now?
Because there's all these things about, like, you know, like reboots and remakes and sequels and all stuff. I thought, what's a franchise that hasn't been touched yet that has real potential? And what I came to was the Powerpuff Girls. Be like in charge of the Powerpuff Girls, like gritty, edgy reboot, like a live action. I haven't decided yet whether it would be better as like a comic book series or just a TV show. But
I worry that you're gonna make it.
So, just in the spirit of making this real, Kurt, you just finished making a movie. Can you just the cold intro right now? The first page, if you guys could collaborate on the Powerpuff Girls reboot. We're making it happen live right now.
I would be honored to collaborate on the Powerpuff Girls, but only if I could play one of them.
My other issue is, you know, I don't have permission. I don't have the Powerpuff Girls franchise licensed, so I don't know. I'm probably going to get sued if I
how any of that works. Well, that's an excellent point, and I feel like this is something that, like, knowing that you suck at things, extremely important. Because we all suck at things, and we're good at things. And I think that generally, this is something that I did early on in my career, is I created several really horrible projects that I didn't just, like, spend a lot of time on, I hired people. I, like, spent thousands of dollars, which was that was just a huge amount of, and like we're all used to like going out and spending $100,000 on our education. So, but like spending $5,000 on working on a project seems idiotic, especially if the chances of that project succeeding are tiny. But you're spending $100,000 on education, and basically that's just another $5,000 towards learning how to manage people, how to create, how to like implement, and like so investing time is easier. Investing money is hard, and I don't suggest you go out and invest like half your net worth or anything, but you know, it's okay to put money towards things, especially because your peers you can try and like get them to work on your ideas with you, but it's a lot easier if you pay them some small amount of money, and then when they, like, the deadline happens and they're like, oh, sorry, I didn't do it, you can be like, well, I paid you, instead of like, well, okay.
I think Hank's asking for money right now.
So we're going to crowdsource my new BRAINCRACK right now. I'm going to just walk around with a hat.
Okay, so you had mentioned before that you know, this idea of starting things before you feel ready, which is a confidence question to some extent. Now, I imagine that there's downtime for all of you where you're not working on any particular idea. Is there anything that you do to kind of keep yourself ready? For when the big moment strikes where you sort of like say, okay, it's time to do this. So is there any baseline activity or sort of habits or rituals that you get into to keep yourself creative and active?
I mean, as a writer, I'm always like having a notepad like on me or somewhere nearby, just so like whenever I just get something I can jot it down. I know like that's something that a lot of writers do, so super helpful. You never know when some crazy idea You know, you're going to write half the script to the Powerpuff Girls movie and you don't have any paper. It'd be a tragedy.
I tend to just like grab onto one project and I'll be like, this is what I'm working on for the next 3 months or 6 months, however long it takes. Like, we just finished writing an album about Doctor Who. Trying to like downplay it like you might know. So now I'm like in between projects. And I don't know what the next thing is that I'm going to do, but I feel like there's a few things I could do, and once one of them grabs me, usually the main thing is collaboration, because I know so many good people that can make up for the things that I'm not good at. Like, I can't produce music, but I know people who can. So if suddenly we all find like the perfect storm of we all have the right amount of time and we want to get this project going, that becomes, like it's organic what becomes the main focus, I guess.
I try to mentally be in a place where this is kind of a crap answer, but I try to mentally be in a place where I'm ready to just like act at any moment. And you know, there's certain, like, if I had a really good idea today, probably wouldn't act immediately because there's some other stuff I'm doing right now. But when I often happens when I go on vacation, I get away from like what I'm doing every day, and then suddenly I'm like, ooh, and I have ideas. So as soon as I get home from vacation, I like to be in a place where I can, one, email everyone I know who I respect and say like, here's my idea. I write it down. Writing business plans, or not business, but like writing down ideas is like my favorite thing. It's like better than a water slide. It's better than corn dogs. It's my favorite thing to do.
That just pissed a lot of people off.
I love to have an idea and like
and
write
now
down
I'm thinking about corn dogs on a water slide, which is just
It was just corn.
It's just sort of a wet, slimy corn dog at the bottom of a water slide.
I thought he was having a good time going down.
It looked like you were having fun in your imaginary water slide, eating your imaginary corn dog. And it was bouncing motion, which I hadn't expected in this particular water slide scenario.
It's a good water slide.
I guess so.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. So does that tell you how babies are made?
Fast, quickly, yeah.
I have a question for all of you, which is like, the whole thing of BRAINCRACK is I have an idea, I need to get this idea out, so it's better to have it out than have it in there, right? But do you think it's better to, if you have a really good idea and you think, I want to give this, like if I do this now, I'll get it out and it'll be done, but it might not be as good as if I hold on to it. Because I think that's the main reason I hold on to things, is they could be better if I, you know. So do you think it's better to have like 10 little ideas that you just put out, or one really good idea that might take longer?
I think it's a really great point. There's two components to it. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's all I really have to say. I just wanted to congratulate you on how good your point was. But sweet, thanks for breaking my flow. So it's good. There's two components to it. So one is the speed at which you make things, and then the other is to what extent are you going to faithfully execute the idea. And I think that you know, when I think about work, I always think about balancing those two things. How quickly and faithfully can I make something? And they pull in opposite directions. I think the main thing for me is that, you know, just making something doesn't mean that you don't get to make it again. Borges is a famous Argentinian writer, I think, said that, you know, you basically have 3 or 4 themes in your life, and you just repeat them over and over again. So I don't think that, you know, trying something fast and dirty and expecting it to kind of be rough precludes you spending longer time. What it does is it teaches you about what you're trying to do.